It's a very brisk morning this morning, guys. We're back in the shed. It's episode 8 of the huge workshop clean out job. Hey guys, Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. I plan to get this job finished this week. I appreciate everyone's comments and support, and particularly help on identifying things and pointing out when I put something good in the scrap metal pile. So thanks for coming along. Today is Tuesday. It was a frost this morning, ice on the windscreen, but it's going to be a beautiful sunny day. I'm about to start on the shed. Let's do a quick walk around to show you where I'm up to. As I said, I'm hoping to get this job finished this week. There's not a lot of big stuff to move other than that bench, the pedestal drill there and the lathe, which those three are going home, and I will have some help to move those. This item that was down the back is an air conditioner. I'm not going to do anything with that except chop the cord off, and I'll take it to the scrapyard complete as it is. It most likely will still have gas in it, but the yard do buy them as such. Now we'll just a quick scan around the back of the shed where most of the work is still to be done, and of course up this side. So what you've just seen is really what I have to deal with, other than around here we have this spray trailer that I'm going to probably take home and put on eBay. The bandsaw is going home as well, probably for my use, and the pile of rubbish in the corner. So I'm going to continue to methodically work through it, although I don't want to waste too much time because I really need to have it finished this week. I've got too much else to go, or too much else on the go, I should say. First step here, I'm going to pull these old lawnmower engines out of this bench, and I think I'll knock it apart. It'll be the easiest way to deal with it. I don't want to try and give it away because I think I'd be hard pushed to do that, and then I've got to wait around for someone or drive it here specially to meet someone. The frame is just old hardwood, which will be great firewood, and the chipboard pieces can just perhaps go on the bonfire. I did find, very dilapidated, the book for the Myford Super 7 lathe. So whilst it isn't in the best condition, oh, it's actually gone really hard. I wonder if it's been wet. I think I can bring that back to at least readable condition, so that will be handy when I'm learning more about my lathe. We have more lawnmower engines in these boxes, various car parts, probably a bit more recycling, certainly a bit more rubbish. Not a great deal in those pigeonholes at the back, so it shouldn't take long to go through and box them up. Same with on top, really. It shouldn't take that long. Those shelf units I'll probably just knock apart. Probably just firewood again. So yeah, I'm hoping to get through this fairly quickly. Hopefully we have a good productive day today. I'll be here for probably 2 or 3 hours this morning, and then I will, that workbench I'll need a lift with as well. And then I'll be back this afternoon. It should be really nice weather this afternoon. Won't be quite so chilly. I might even be able to get my coat discarded, and we'll probably try and get those cleaned off today as well, and take some photos and see if we can sell them. I think they're probably worth selling. They won't get a great deal. This bench may go home again because I am going to need decent benches for tools and appliances and things like that grinder in my my emergency storage shed when it ceases to be a storage shed and starts to become part of the workshop. Had some more comments about this radio. Dave Tipton advised that he would kind of like it, but it's difficult to get up there, and he's in Queensland, which is quite a long way from where I am in Victoria. And the other issue, of course, is the space that these big consoles take up. I did find a box with the knobs that was down that bench somewhere. So I might even loosely reassemble it and see if we can move it on quickly. I don't plan to keep that as a restoration. We will go through this rubbish bin too and see if we can get anything out of there that's not rubbish. That bench is probably just firewood again, so I'll knock those apart as well. All right, that's the plan for today. Let's get moving so I warm up a bit. The good thing about a cold, chilly morning is it forces you to keep moving, and you do get a fair bit done. So I'm about half an hour in. I've unpacked a few boxes. I've emptied that shelf unit, which I am definitely just going to knock apart. It's pretty well falling apart on its own. I'm into back management systems here. So I've opened this trunk and made sure there's nothing super heavy in there. And there was a lot of this sort of stuff in the bottom, which is solid. So when I tried to move that trunk, I could barely even slide it. I'm not going to lift it into the van when it's full of heavy stuff. So obviously, heavy stuff in a bucket, I can trolley that, I can lift that, and then I can top the trunk up with nice light stuff. Likewise, this big box I've tipped over and cleaned out. There wasn't very much exciting in there at all. I can trolley the box fine, and I'll be able to get it up into the van when it has nice light things like empty tins. That's quite a nice collectible tea tin I think we looked at in one of the earlier videos. I'm continuing just to pack boxes with random stuff. And we have one there for all recycling. There was a whole heap of brown paper bags in the bottom of that big timber box, so they can be recycled as paper. That box has been weight managed quite well. It's mostly engine cowlings, mufflers, things that don't weigh a lot. There's an old oxy set there. The hoses will be no good at all, but the gauges and everything are solid brass. Rubbish in this old laundry basket, basic rubbish in that box as well. And when I did show you my rubbish pile the other day, that's the one over here. I've only been putting the larger pieces here. All the smaller stuff that you just saw me put in boxes and that laundry basket, I actually take home and fill up our curbside, not recycle bins, our curbside garbage bins. So it saves me a lot of little stuff being loaded on a trailer to go to the tip. And, you know, I'll make sure my bins are full every week. So there is a little bit more rubbish than what I've shown you in that corner. But certainly there was no need for a skip here, and a lot of people would have ordered 2 straight up. So this corner's almost neat enough to now knock that bench apart, and I'll start emptying the back shelves here. Also, I've started emptying this white trunk, yellow trunk here. So nothing really exciting coming out. There's various gearboxes, there's lots of mechanical bits and pieces, the 2-way radios, but certainly nothing exciting. Let's have a bit of a rummage along the back here. Someone did comment that they would like to see more just sorting and rummaging. Well, what do we got on this shelf? We've got aluminium pulleys, which will sell okay. That's a really solid pulley. Interesting. That's very heavy. It'd be cast iron. That's certainly a saleable piece. This pulley is off the top of an old lawnmower. The old, I think we pointed out one the other day. They actually sell on their own. More pulleys, some bearings. This shelf unit, if it is real timber, I'll keep it and maybe use it. If it's just chipboard, well, it looks like it's chipboard underneath, I'll just knock it apart. We have more pulleys, chains, sprockets, electric motor there in a frame. It was made up for something. This looks like a control box and, oh, I don't know, maybe from a pump, pressure switch from a pump. Most likely I'm just going to scrap that for the wire. What's under here? We have electric motors in various states of disrepair. I think they'll probably just go in the motor bin. I don't think they're of anything important. Well, that's clearly just rubbish. That was a hostess serving tray from the 80s. Maybe it is Tupperware, and Tupperware still sells, but it would have had a lid, and I don't think it's ever going to clean up to be usable for food again. An interesting little gauge here, a frequency gauge. It's in hertz, but it's got a cracked glass. However, that's not irreparable. We'll put that in a box to take back. A lot of that stuff I will appraise as I unbox. I have a group of files here. So my sorting really is just the first stage in sorting. It's sorting out obvious rubbish, obvious recyclables, obvious scrap metal. And that goes a long way to, I think that's the top of a insect zapper. So the basic storage goes, the basic sorting goes a long way to, is that a Holden? It is a Holden one. Yeah, see, that could have a market. Sorry, I'm not finishing my sentences. The basic sorting goes a long way to cutting the volume by more than half, I would suggest. That's a nice impact gun, or air ratchet gun. It looks like the case is no good. So I like to do that sort just to reduce the amount I have to store, obviously. And then I'll go through, I'll probably do another couple of stages of sorting. Like the next stage will make decisions on perhaps bulky stuff and all the little small bits, plus they're all just empty, plus things that I suspect might belong to something else. They will all go in a box just in case I find something that needs a part and I still have it. Once we get finally to the end of sorting, then I can go through that. These bits might be off something else box, and then either throw them out or put them in the scrap metal. So there's not much really on the back of here. We've got lots of these crimp-on connectors, which I don't like using. I'll probably box all those up and sell them in one hit at the shop. I'm not a fan of crimp-on connectors. I think they just are prone to breaking down over the years with corrosion, bad connections. I like to solder my joins. What do you have here? Description booklet. Twin Wasp C3 engine. Aircraft Corporation. That's an interesting little book. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's had a page torn out. So I take it that's an owner's manual or workshop manual. Oh, there we go. Of an aircraft engine. So that's definitely likely to have some value in the shop. I was trying to get to these cassette storage things and see what's in them. Absolutely nothing. It's a homemade storage box out of chipboard. So the shelves can go in the bin. The chipboard can go in the bonfire pile. Yep, nothing there at all. All these tins can go in the recycle box. That looks like a voltage regulator of something. So again, that will go in my box to take home, and I'll make a decision on that later. But you can see we're going to get rid of the bulk of this section straight away into burning or tip or recycling. So I get pretty good at sorting. I've been doing it a long time, and I can make decisions pretty quickly. But I have learned over the years, just if I find something that I'm not sure what it is, I'll keep it until I can either establish that it goes with something, or it is of value, or if it's not of value. I don't know what that is, and it's pretty gummy down below. A recoil start assembly, that looks near new. Victor flywheel pulley. Is it in there? What's in there? No, it's not. It's a homemade boss for something. Yep. So hardware and stuff I'll obviously box up or put in a jar and sell. There's a little condenser of a set of points or something. There's the set of points. So yeah, we'll sort all that later. That one, any timber bits I just put straight in the box to go back for my shed fire. We have more electrical connections in here and books. Your pony book. I do often sort out a lot of books later. I don't throw out too many at the start. The Lonely Sea and the Sky. I don't think these are of any real value. That's the lid of something that's well and truly had it. Oh, here we go. This might have more value. Information Manual for a Cessna, 1979. And another one. Alright, so there's a bit of sorting for you guys. You can see I'm going to get through this back shelf fairly quickly, boxing up anything remotely interesting and allocating other stuff to its respective piles, and I'll just be knocking apart most of that shelving for firewood, well, the bonfire pile. Quick update now. I've got about 3/4 an hour before I'm heading back for lunch. I've made half the back wall clean, cleared out. I will sweep it off, and I might even bring back some spray cleaner and just wipe over the bench. It's the little touches like that really impress people. It's going to take me 5 minutes, and I'll just get rid of some of this messy stuff. The actual bench top's in pretty good condition. Been packing up more tubs of random things off the bench here. All the bottom pigeonholes are empty. And yes, I've checked behind the drawers in case there was any money stashed. No, alas, there wasn't. Someone mentioned the axe that I've been walking past for most of the episodes. It was actually the very first thing I put in the van, and then I went and got it because it's really handy for demolition work. So I've knocked all the chipboard off this thing. You can see it's very roughly homemade. It's all wonky. It is hardwood. It will burn well in my shed fire. So I'm just going to knock that apart. The chipboard will have to be designated to the bonfire. The axe, by the way, is a USA-made one. I thought it might have been a high test, but I think they're Australian. I can't see a brand on it. Well, it says USA 4.5 pound. It needs a clean up. It might be a plum. Either way, it's probably a $20 or $30 plus axe. It's actually in very good condition, so that's a nice little find, and it's extremely handy. So getting through stuff here, sweeping across the room like the reverse tornado that I appear to be. More recyclables. I've found another whole lot of jars. There's already been a box go in the van, and they will go in our recycle bin at home. Some more general rubbish that I will put in the bins at home to save building up the pile here. So yeah, a few boxes to move out to the van now, but it's really starting to thin out now. It's going well. All right, I'll finish knocking that frame apart. I'll take that stuff out to the bonfire pile. And I guess I'll just keep cleaning along the back before lunch, and then I'll probably finish up this episode then. We'll do another one this afternoon. Okay, it's time for lunch. I've made pretty good progress through here. I'm pretty happy with this. As expected, the back shelves are cleaning out pretty quickly because it's just really a sprinkle of stuff on top, and there's not a lot underneath. So sorting it out, I'll show you what I've found there after lunch. I was only going to mention a couple of things. This trunk that has been wet on the bottom certainly has, but it's still quite solid, so that's okay. It's good. We can still sell that as a trunk without any repair work. And the only shelving that I kept from that corner was this piece here, because it actually is real timber. And I am going to need some shelving when I redevelop my shed, and I'm not sure what I'm going to need, so I'll take that home for now. It will be handy to stack things on. So that's the only piece that really survived the swinging of the axe. The rest of it's going on the bonfire. So how's that looking? Good echo, not much to go. I'll be back here after lunch and we'll start the next episode then. So as I sign off on this episode, the weather's turned bad. There's a bit of a sprinkle of rain. We're not forecast to get much, but what I said earlier about a frosty morning means a nice day obviously doesn't always apply. So thanks for watching this episode. We'll be back here shortly. I hope you're enjoying the journey. I certainly am. I'll be looking forward to when it's finished, but I'm enjoying every step as we go. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.